Now, only one place to start today, and that is, of course, with Wednesday's news that David Haye's proposed fight against Vladimir Klitschko is off after Haye injured his back. Adam Booth joins us on the line now. Adam, as always, welcome to the show. First off, how is David?
He's gutted. You know, I mean, how would he be? He was close to everything he ever dreamed of, but we had to make a logical decision that he wasn't right to fight on June the 20th. And we will now wait to hear from Vladimir as to whether Vladimir wants to wait the 3 weeks that we're looking at for the delay, or whether he would rather fight somebody else now.
Adam, before we deal with the 3-week delay, let's go back. Let's look at this injury, and the overriding amount of the texts and the emails and the calls we're having is, when did this happen? When did it first happen?
It was an insidious thing. So, you know, there's some injuries that happen in an instant, like a broken leg, for example, and there are other things that are conditions that are underlying and don't really show too many problematical symptoms. You know, now, I don't think there's an athlete in the world that doesn't train to intensity and start complaining of having backache, you know, where the back feels tight and you stretch. And as a trainer, you just react to the symptoms. So, you know, you do massage, you stretch it. Today it feels okay, tomorrow it feels a bit worse, and it's that type of thing. So he's had a backache for, you know, 2 or 3 weeks. But
to the British press 2 weeks ago, didn't you? You mentioned it to the British press 2 weeks ago.
I did. They wanted to do some shadow boxing when they're out here doing the press stuff, and I just said, you know, his back's aching today. But it hadn't stopped it. It hadn't stopped him doing his training. It's just that he was complaining of his backache sometimes. And then a couple of days ago, the symptoms were just more. They were more of a concern. He couldn't do certain sessions that were important, and so we sent him off to have it scanned, and the scan showed a condition that basically needs some aggressive physiotherapy, but for him to rest for a period of about 2 weeks where he's not training.
Adam, now I understand you're coming to Britain to get this quote-unquote aggressive physiotherapy. Couldn't you have smuggled someone into Kyrenia, Northern Cyprus yesterday or the day before to begin this process 48 hours ago?
No, the treatment actually can't start for 48 hours because he's had to have some strong anti-inflammatories put into him, and once they've taken their effect, he then starts the therapy. So either way, the therapy can't start till tomorrow afternoon, and so we'd rather fly back to London, get that sorted, you know, speak to whoever's got to be spoken to, and get this sorted out.
Okay, then you're gonna get back on a plane. When do you think you're going to find out from K2, the Klitschkos, if they agree to a 3-week cancellation? Assuming the doctor or the physiotherapist or the specialist or whatever the hell he is, assuming he gives you a green light, when do you think they're going to say to you, yes, we'll wait for you?
Well, there's a difference between cancellation and postponement. We want to know whether, you know, we need to know now. They were told yesterday that we could have let this run.
Sure.
We could have let this run until the last minute and then said, no, it's not right, you haven't been able to train, let's pull out the flight. And that would have left them in a position where they had no option but not to fight on June the 20th. But we thought we'd do the right thing, and we tell them, when we knew that he wasn't going to fight, we told them straight away. And it just so happened that they were in front of the press when they found out.
Yeah.
That was yesterday. And then today, we saw the consultant here who's read all the scans, and the consultant has given us the clear guideline that realistically for athletic performance, we're looking at a 3-week delay.
Okay, that's a 3-week delay. Does that mean David can get back in the gym right now, or 3-week delay to get back training? It's a bit confusing. Clear it up, Adam, because there's a lot of people asking a lot of questions.
So what's 3 weeks after June the 20th? Is it July the 11th?
11th.
So David will be fit and ready to fight, ready to step in the ring on July the 11th.
Okay, now have you had any indication from Bernd Bonter, who we might be speaking to on the show, or from any of the Klitschkos or their lawyer, John Horner, out near Chicago, have you had any indication from them that this offer, your suggestion of a 3-week delay, will be in any way acceptable? Any indication?
Well, last night when I spoke to Bernd, I didn't know that we were looking at 3 weeks. I knew it was between, at the time I thought it was about 5 weeks. But it was then 3 or 4 weeks this morning, and we've had it confirmed as to what the process is going to be. I've looked at the training schedule. I know when I can have him ready to fight. So Bernd now knows that we're looking at a 3-week delay, and the word that's come back is that they're still looking to try and tie up Ruslan Chagayev.
Yes.
And it's for June the 20th. And if that's the case, then effectively they got 2 choices. They can, you know, just hold up their training and then fight David in 3 weeks' 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a big time scale there. 3 weeks is nothing in the scheme of things.
Sure.
Or he can go and fight Ruslan Chagayev, and that's Vladimir's option. Does he want to fight David 3 weeks later, or does he want to fight Chagayev on June the 20th?
And what's your gut feeling from your conversations you had with him yesterday and from getting to know them in the last 6 months? Are they going to take Chagayev, which, by the way, isn't a done deal, or one of the other offers on offer, or will they wait the all-important 21 days and fight David Haye? What's your gut feeling, Adam?
It's entirely up to them now. My concern is doing the job that's right. I've got to get David back, get him treated, get him back in the gym, and get him into shape. We're now waiting to hear from them as to what they want to do. But I'm working on David getting back and getting into the gym and being ready to fight. I don't want anything being dropped to me as a surprise last minute, saying, okay, we'll go ahead with the fight when we've been ticking along. We're going to go ahead and work to the schedule that we're going to work to.
July 11th.
Tell us when they make the decision.
Oh, Adam, a couple more questions, mate, and I appreciate your time today. Now, I hate to say this, but do you have a plan B? He goes and fights Chagayev. Do you go to the back of the queue? Do you have a plan B for David getting back in the heavyweight situation?
Well, listen, we've always, for David, whether it's a British level, European level, we've always had a B, C and D plan.
Yeah.
But at the moment, the only one we're focusing on is plan A, and plan A is on hold because he's injured. We'll get him ready and work towards plan A. If they choose a different option, which they're at liberty to, then we will look at B, C and D.
Okay, now, Adam, there's been some stick online. I've been on battling the corner. Some people have been giving me stick. I'm used to that. I'm a big boy. I can take it. What about to the fans? Any reassurances vis-a-vis tickets or the fact that, if this fight does take place, everything will be honoured? Is that something you've discussed? I know you've had a lot on your plate, but is that something you've discussed? And does David have a message for the fans?
David's message to the fans is that he's absolutely gutted and he wants to give them what they want to see, and that's a world heavyweight champion from England, an excited world heavyweight champion. And all he wants to say to them is just hold fire. A few weeks in the scheme of things to clean up this heavyweight mess isn't the end of the world. But as always, it's down to Vlad. Does Vlad want to fight David? If he does, then 3 weeks isn't difficult.
Okay, well, Adam, thanks for that. Say hello to David. We'll find out very shortly because we've got Bern on the phone. Thanks very much, Adam Booth.
Thanks, Steve.
We'll round that up in a moment. But Adam Booth, the main man behind Haymaker, there speaking to us.